So today we're going to go through the benefits, downsides of both wood and carbon blades, compare them, and hopefully find which one suits you more. So let's start with the wood blade and its advantages. You've probably heard the saying that wood blades are great for control, and yes, that's right. It's because of the high vibration property and the dwell time. And you're wondering, what does that mean? So when your racket touches the ball, there's a vibration that you can feel. There's different vibrations on different types of shots. So if you've hit a good topspin, or you've hit a block, or you've hit a backhand, they're all going to be different vibrations. And you'll be able to tell the difference when you play a good backhand or a bad backhand. Your brain sort of memorizes the vibration and how it feels in your hand when you've played a good and a bad shot. And that can sometimes help you sort of determine how much spin you've put on the ball without even seeing it. And the dwell time is how long you can feel the vibration. So how well can you understand what shot you've played through the vibrations of the racket. So I just want to explain to you and set in stone for you what this means. So this is an example. What if you smash the ball? What kind of sound does it make? What sort of sound does the rubber and mainly the wood make? And when you compare that to a really spinny topspin where you've not put too much power, how does that sound? You'll be able to see the different types of vibrations in different types of shots. An easy way to tell what sort of shot you've played is what sort of noise comes out of the racket, or sometimes you can even feel it by how long your racket feels like it's giving the ding noise, how long it's vibrating. So we know that wood blades give you more control. What does control mean? It makes it easier for you to get the ball onto the table. You miss less, making you a better player. And another benefit for especially developing players is that wood blades don't allow for a crappy technique. They don't tend to generate a lot of power themselves, so you have to generate the power. And to get a good amount of power at a decent level, you have to use your weight transfer, you have to use your body correctly, and get the stroke right. And overall, the wood blade allows a beginner to hit through the ball with full confidence without the fear of compromising their technique or missing. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It does have some disadvantages. It's not as penetrative and strong as a carbon blade to hit through the ball. You're not going to get quite as much speed or just pure attack power as a carbon blade. And wood blades are going to be a little bit heavier in the hands. So if you're a player that doesn't like heavy blades, then wood blades aren't going to be a priority for you. And in the last 20 years, a lot of pro players have switched from the pure wood to the carbon. So it's less advertised, so you're less likely to buy it as well. And those are the main disadvantages of a wooden blade. But anyways, let's get into the carbon blade and perhaps you might even like it better. So the main advantage of a carbon blade is that it's very responsive and it really pings the ball right off. It's got a lot of attack power, it's really penetrative, and you're going to have really strong top spins if you know what you're doing. Carbon blades are all about speed. You can get the pure penetrative brute force power to just slap the ball through your opponents. You have to do less work with your body because the blade does so much for you in terms of the production of power. And there is an advantage/disadvantage situation going on here depending on your level. Some people like very mute and low vibration, low dwell time blades because they just like the feeling of the ball going in and out straight away from your racket. But as I said before, the dwell time and the vibration and not having a mute racket and actually feeling the ball, having time on the ball is going to help you a lot when trying to refine your technique. So that's why it's not really favorable to have a carbon blade when you're starting out, especially a fast one. You lack control because you lack dwell time and vibration. It becomes harder to differentiate between the sounds of each shot like we talked about before. It's because the racket, the carbon blade, is mute. It's not very responsive and it doesn't give you as much feedback as wood blades. But at the end of the day, you can be a great table tennis player with each blade. So it is up to personal preference. If I were to choose a blade for a beginner, I would choose a pure wood blade because it is going to give you the control, it's going to give you the vibration, the dwell time, it's going to give you feeling on the ball, and you're going to be able to get your technique right. But remember, the final choice of choosing your blade is up to you. And if I was to say one thing, don't overthink it. You've learned what you've learned from your videos, from your research, but just don't overthink it. You don't have to go back and forth between ideas. Just pick one. Pick a blade that you like, maybe the first one that meets your criteria and catches your eye. You don't need to go down this rabbit hole, just pick one, and as long as it's in your category of, you have a general idea of what you want. So if you want a wood blade with control, you get that and you buy one in that category, you can't really go wrong. Because especially as a beginner, you haven't learnt enough of your technique to know what you're doing wrong with the blade, or if it's the blade or it's just you. However, if you're an equipment junkie, that's completely fine. Test as many blades as you like. Just enjoy the game. It's up to you, but if you want to improve, then I'd say stick to one blade. Don't overthink. Focus on playing instead. But anyways, I'll see you tomorrow.